Come off of it?
No.
Is he still on the log?
Yeah. He's on the log.
Put that yellow and black on to try it if they're eating those yellow perch. That yellow and black might be the deal. Where are you hung?
I don't know if he's off or not. Maybe he got off.
There's one.
There's one. Get down with your.
Woohoo! Look at him go.
Good guy. I lost mine.
This is a small one here. I should have caught the big one because I'm gonna catch mine. I didn't want to let him get hung up like you did yours.
And I'm gonna get mine. That's a nice.
Hey, I put me. Did you see what I did? I put a yellow and black skirt on my red man spinnerbait.
Huh?
In order to, because they eat a lot of yellow perch. I've seen some yellow perch follow my bait. So I put that yellow and black skirt on there, and it worked. And it worked. No, I didn't, did I?
I lost mine.
That worked pretty good. Roland lost his. His was twice the size of mine. I'm fishing the St. Lawrence River with my buddy Roland Martin. We have fished a lot of tournaments. That sounded like my rod was broke.
What happened?
We fished a lot of tournaments on this river over the years, and we've had a lot of fun, caught a lot of big fish up here. I actually won a tournament up here on this river one time, and I think it was in like in '86 or something. Roland's probably won 2 or 3 tournaments up here. He's won so many.
I won one at Alexander Bay, yeah.
At Alexander Bay, yeah. I finished 4th one year at Alexander Bay. That's where we first started fishing them.
That's right.
Which is not too far that way. What we've got right here is kind of a really strange little deal. This is some current coming in. This Salmon River's going that way. And this is a little cut right here. And the current's coming through here. And these smallmouth are coming in here feeding. I think maybe on yellow perch or some kind of bait coming through here. That's the reason I put this yellow and black on to try it up here. I just put it on. I've been throwing blue and chartreuse.
I got one. A big one. I got a big bass. Yes, sir, son.
Yes, you do. Those fish, you know, the only 2 bites we've had, the only 2 bites we've had have been way out here. So those fish are just not getting back up in that shallow water. That real, I mean, it's shallow where we are.
Ooh, I threw in there and it was a big swirl.
Oh, that's a nice
I caught
fish.
him on a Cinco.
That's a nice fish.
That's a good fish. Good fish.
Maybe they're just now getting here, Roland. They
Yeah,
hadn't
look
had
at
time to get back. They hadn't had time to get back in there, way back in there where we've been. Maybe they're just out here around the mouth.
He just ate the heck out of it.
This water's this water's 64 degrees out here.
Fat Cinco fish.
Boy, they're pretty, aren't they?
That's
Look
a
at
pretty
that
one.
fish. They're so gorgeous up here.
That was a nice.
I mean, they are so gorgeous.
Okay, the 5-inch green pumpkin, 297. You know, everybody asks me what color is the best color? And you know, there's a lot of answers to that. But I always tell them any color will work as long as it's a 297 green pumpkin.
Come off that log.
And Will's got one. Look at this size of this one.
God, look at this.
Man,
look at this fish right here.
That's the biggest one we've seen so far.
Whoa, look at that.
Really a big
look
fish.
at that girl. Will you look
really
at
a
that
big
girl?
That's
Will
really,
you
really
look
a
at
big
that
one,
girl?
folks.
I mean, this is a big one.
That's really
a big one.
You're gonna have to get.
It's a big one.
This in here down.
Yeah, I don't want that hook
Really,
there.
really a big fish.
Oh, look at that
Look
fish.
at the size of that one.
Look at that girl.
Look at that size.
Come here, baby.
That's one big smallmouth, son.
Come here, baby.
That's a big.
He rolled
big
out from under
smallmouth.
that log.
That's really a big smallmouth. Woo! Look at that guy.
Yeah, I couldn't get a hold of her.
That's a 5
Tried
pound.
to belly her, I couldn't get a hold of her belly.
That's a 5-pounder if I've ever saw one.
That's definitely a 5-pound smallmouth.
That's a big one.
Woohoo!
That's a big old smallmouth, son. That's as good
What do
as
you
they get,
think?
huh?
What
That's
do
a
you
tank.
think about that?
I got a scale.
That is a tank.
You want me to weigh it?
Heck no, I'd rather weigh it with my arm. I can read them out right here. I read right here, and it says, tell you what it weighs. You want me to weigh it?
5 pounds.
Yellow and black red man spinnerbait. You remember the red man spinnerbait?
I'm telling you.
I brought it back, a red man spinnerbait. I brought it back.
That was what, 60 years ago, wasn't it? Back in the late.
Ever been.
Late 60s.
Look at that
That's
fish,
a
look at
big,
that fish.
Big fish.
That is a,
That's what it's all about. Come up to the St. Lawrence River. Come up to the Indians. The Indians. It's the Mohawk.
Mohawk tribe, the Mohawk
It's
Indian
not the tribe.
Reservation.
They don't call it tribe. They call it
On the St. Lawrence River. Mohawk
First Nations.
God, that's a big. That's
5 pound smallmouth.
5'6", 5'6", 5'6" right here, 5'6".
You want to weigh it?
I did weigh it. It's 5'6".
I got a scale.
It's 5'6".
You don't know.
Hey, what do you think, Roland?
It's right at 5, I think, but it's a nice one.
I think it's
beautiful.
5'6".
It's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get one.
I think it's 5'6".
Okay, it's a big one.
Trust me, it's 5 pounds 6 ounces.
It's a big one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Ah, there he is. There he is.
Big one.
Yep. And we've thrown, we sat right here on power pole and made I don't know how many casts, and we hadn't had a bite. I catch this one out there, just not too far away from the boat, and it's a nice one.
That is a good one.
Oh yeah.
Catch me up.
Oh, there, Roland. Since you're sitting there and get my fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one, son.
Are you gonna get my fish for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna catch one. I'm gonna let you catch him.
You're supposed to unhook my fish. What is this, man? What kind of a buddy is that? Won't even unhook my fish. Ah, boy, that's a nice chunk. And what's happening, let me tell you what's happening. This is one of those deals where if you wanted to, and if you got the courage to do it, you could sit here for hours. And you're gonna go for a long time, maybe in between bites at times. But then on the other hand, you know, there'll be one swim in here and you got a chance to catch him. Now, they're going up this river, is what they're doing. They're heading up that river. And they're out here where they got a little.
The river flows into the St. Lawrence right here.
Yeah, and you've got current in here, and this current is kind of, you got current coming one way, current coming another way, but the river current is what's big, and it's these fish are coming in here feeding on this point. They're going up there to spawn. Some of them will stick around here for a little while. Others will come in here and just keep on moving right on down that bank line. We could probably fish right down that bank line and catch them also, Roland.
Got him in the water.
Taking the log with him.
Yeah, old log pike. The old log pike.
Big old log pipe. I don't like those things biting my red man spinnerbait. I'll get around here. Come here, pike. You're gonna catch plenty of pike when you come to the St. Lawrence River, that's for sure. You got to be careful with them because they are mean and they got lots of teeth and they will tear your spinnerbaits up. And a real big one, that's not a very big one, but a real big one will actually take your whole spinnerbait in his mouth and many times cut your line. And you lose your
And you know what's the neat thing about it? Well, it's not neat. You won't feel anything.
Oh, well,
it's like somebody cut it with a
razor. On a jig or a worm, you don't feel anything. You feel a tick and it's over. But on a spinnerbait, of course, you see them most of the time. But yeah, on a worm or a jig, you feel a little tick and you set the hook and your rod don't even bend.
In the current scene. Yes, sir.
Power pole down.
Power pole down. That current. That's where the main current's going over there. So it'll be all along this area. Oh yeah. Nice.
I think they're moving through, and we pick them up. That's a nice one.
That's a good one.
We move them up as they pull through.
That's a good one, folks. I tell you what, fishing with Jimmy, I'm finally starting to catch up. Hey, a double big one.
He jumped 3 foot in the air.
Hey, folks. Hey, I tell you what,
jumped 3 foot in the air.
We've caught some pike. We've caught some big. Oh!
Look at that!
I just broke mine off.
Look at that! You broke off again. You broke off again. Do you see how high that fish jumped?
Into the boat.
Do you see how high? Hey, do you see how high that fish jumped?
I'm telling you.
I mean, it jumped a mile high. Well,
I gotta find another.
Several hundred feet.
Another little jig.
This is a big one here, Roland.
That's a big one. I know. I gotta get another one going. Hey, I gotta kind of wait now because now I'm all screwed up. And
Roland, you ever thought about, you know how you go down there in Mexico and Argentina? Look at that fish. Will you look at that fish? You go down there in Mexico and Argentina, and they give you these bird guys to get your birds.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about bringing somebody along to retie your lures for you?
Well,
so when you break off, he just hands you another rod.
I just went to lift that big smallmouth.
That way you wouldn't have to do that.
And I lost my whole deal.
You tied on 3-4 baits in the last 10 minutes.
And I'm out of jig heads now. I don't have any more jig heads. I'm all out.
Oh, look at that one! Holy moly! Look at this toad. Look at this toad, Roland. I'm telling you, this is a big one. This is a big one. What'd you do? Get my spinnerbait rod?
I got my spinnerbait rod. I don't have a rod to fish with. I've
lost
all my stuff. What you got?
He's lost all his stuff.
Huh?
Oh God! I thought this was a 5-pound fish. He's not as big as I thought he was. You know what happened? I had a 5-pounder on.
Yeah.
And he got off, and that one got on. That's a nice one, but he's not near the size. I had a 5-pounder on, and he got off, and this one got a hold of it. I know that's what happened. Ow! My thumb is just cut up. I can't get it down in that little smallmouth. That little red man is eating their lunch.
I got one on
We
my
moved around
chatterbait.
on the other side of the current.
Huh?
The current's coming through just exactly like it was on the other side.
Chatterbait
But we
time.
moved around to the other side,
Chatterbait.
and they're loaded in here. They're loaded.
Well, maybe I'll catch one on a chatterbait.
Huh?
Okay, the chatterbait's working. I don't have, Jimmy won't give me the right kind of stuff.
You got to. Oh, this is a nice one.
I'm gonna get him now.
This is a nice one.
I'm gonna get him now.
Hey, I have one more red man spinnerbait with me. Oh, God. Woo!
You get another red man?
They are beauties. I got another one in that bag right there. That bag right there's got one rolling. Pick out what color. I've been using that yellow and black like a yellow perch. God, look at that baby. That is so huge. See, it looks like it's nothing but a mud flat out there, and it is. But what the deal is that current's coming through there. The current coming out of that river, and it's hitting the current out here in the St. Lawrence River. And where those two currents come together, those smallmouth are roaming in here. And they could be eating yellow perch. That's why I've got a yellow and black spinnerbait on. You got him?
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting him.
You're getting him?
Big old 3.5 or 4. Big old giant fish.
Thought maybe want to jump up and hit that top water.
You'd think they would. You would think
Shallow
they
up
would.
there. They're hitting that spinnerbait right on top.
That's kind of a small one.
Oh, look at the size of that smallmouth. Did you see that
The big one?
smallmouth? This is like a world record. I mean, this
Really?
is a giant.
That's a big one?
Yeah, you're gonna have to land this in for me because this is so
Really?
big I can't handle him alone. Watch him when he comes up here and jumps. Watch him, he's a giant. Watch him, watch him. Look at that.
How big is he? That's a good
He's
one.
big, but he's not quite as big as I thought. Not as big as that one I caught earlier. What do you think, Roland?
That's a big one.
What do you think, Roland?
That's a big one.
What do you think, Roland? You?
I'm gonna help you land him.
Yeah, belly him up there.
Huh?
That's
Watch
a
this,
little bit
guys.
too much to
Watch this, guys. This is one
belly
big
land.
fish.
Belly land.
Belly land. I can't reach him. I can't reach him. You gotta get over to him. I can't get him to him.
I think he
about
was
4
trying
pounds.
to. I think he
4
tried to
pounds.
turn him loose.
4 pounds.
Oh.
Nice one though. You good?
Ah, that is another giant.
That's a good one, Jimmy.
Well, I tell you, that is a smallmouth catching machine, that red man. Boy, it's a heavy fish. God, it's a heavy fish. That is just a gorgeous son of a gun. Woo! I thought for a minute it's a big pike. I thought he was a great big pike.
I
Boy,
can't
they
tell
are
how big he is.
bombing that thing up on top of the water.
I can't tell how big he is.
I mean, bombing it.
He's just a big old fish.
And not any of them little.
They're all big.
Yeah, they're
They're
just
all big
bigger
fish.
ones. They're big and bigger,
Big old fish.
and bigger old fish.
4 and 5 pounds.
There's
Tell you
another
folks,
one.
You got another one,
Yeah.
Jimmy?
They're over there against that bank
Are
too.
they?
This
I
is-
tell you, folks, we're gonna have to run, but you know, I've done well, except I've lost too many fish. I've broken too many lines, and I don't have a really big one here. What you got, Jimmy?
it's
Pretty
just
big one.
probably about like yours now. It's just
Yeah.
3 pounds.
3 pounds. On these
3
smaller
pounds.
ones,
God, they pull like
kind of
banshees.
pull them in like this.
I mean, they pull so good, it's amazing.
Well, what do you think? What a day!
What a day!
Huh?
What a day on the St. Lawrence River, buddy. I
Look
mean,
up old Will
I mean,
Clute. Will Clute, he's
I
the
mean,
man. He's the
upstate
man.
New York.
Upstate, way upstate.
Spinnerbait fishing, worm
Hey.
fishing, whatever you want to catch them on.
Jimmy, hey, thank you You were a lot more efficient than I was, and I lost a lot of fish today, but I kept up with you at least on
That's
strike.
just a couple nice
That's
ones.
just a
We've
couple,
caught
3
them
pounds.
twice
We've
this
caught
big.
them 5 pounds.
Yeah.
They're really good, 4
Nice.
pounds.
You know, I've talked for years about differences in fishing. What you're always looking for is you're looking for the differences. Something that is different than something else. And that's where you're going to find your fish located. And I just happen to look at this bank right here, and this is a perfect example of what we're talking about, because we have a lot of differences on this bank, and we've had a lot of differences in the way that we've caught our fish today, and we're looking for things that are different from most of the surrounding area. As an example, real quickly, if you have a lot of stumps and only 1 or 2 logs or 3 or 4 logs, the fish will normally be on the logs. If you have a lot of logs and not very many stumps, they're normally going to be on the stumps. And you're looking for things where something changes from one thing to another. Now, obviously, all the wood in the water, that's good. You look where the wood comes down, it goes down in the water. The very end top where you have the end of a tree and the rest of the lake, that's a difference right there. That's where fish are going to be located. This time of the year in the springtime, fish like a hard bottom to spawn on. So you want to look for areas, as an example, like this little area right up in here. You see what that is? That's sand right in there. Sand in between rocks and rocks. You got rocks and rocks. This little area right here, if I was to throw my bait in right there, probably get a bite relatively quickly. They'll be on that sand. Even if you got just rocky banks, some of the lakes in the mountains are just rocks everywhere. You go, Jimmy, there's rocks everywhere. Everywhere I stop, rocks. Find the places where one group of rocks changes into another group. In other words, might be boulders or what we call riprap type rock, but they're natural and not riprap. And riprap type rock and then boulders, and then all of a sudden it changes into pea gravel, or it changes into smaller rocks, or it changes into bigger boulders, or it changes into a bluff, right where the rocks go down and meet a bluff. So even in those type of deals, there is differences. You always want to look for the difference. If you find a change in your contour, and whether you're out looking at a live scope or whether you're looking at the bank, a difference in the contour, you're going to find the fish. Look for those differences. Where those two things come together, that's where they're going to be almost every single time. Sometimes you can eat